Okay, so where was Ricky Martin born? You have to name the city and the country, and what was the name of his first band? We are getting some faxes with some right answers. However, it seems that a lot of people don't know what his first band was called. So good luck, great prizes. I'm sitting here with two gentlemen who are very special in that they are both recipients of liver transplants. This is John Totten, and this is George Marcello, and they're with an organization called Step by Step. George Marcello, a few years ago, walked across Ontario to raise awareness for organ donation and transplants. And this year again, within, I think, a few weeks, is that so, George? You'll be walking across Ontario again to raise awareness for this very worthy cause, the kind of thing that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but you're out there to say thank you to the donor family, because of course in Canada you can't say thank you can't contact the donor family, and this is George's way and John's way of putting back into the community, saying thank you to the family for donating their loved ones' organs. George, when do you leave for your walk?
June 26th at Hyde Park.
Okay, it's working. It's working.
Yeah, June 26th at Hyde Park.
Okay, so you're in the gym now, getting ready, working out?
Yes, I just had my workout this morning, as a matter of fact.
Great. And how many years ago did you have your transplant?
4 years ago, 95
4 years ago.
August.
And you, John, how many years ago was yours?
November 26th, year past.
Okay, now you won't be doing the walk, but you are playing
no,
old-timers hockey
we're going to leave
again?
that. I am back to playing old-timers hockey,
okay,
yes.
so you're back to playing hockey. There's something about organ transplants. There's a lot of preconceptions out there that perhaps you donate a loved one's organ and the recipient dies anyway, because that's what we've heard in the news over the last few decades. Things have really changed.
Oh, very much so. I think, you know, obviously take a look at George and myself, and you can see really it restores life back to normal. You're expected to go back and do the same kind of work that you've always done and live life the way you've always lived it. At one time, they thought that organ transplant patients would probably live no more than about 10 years. But in fact, that's now changed. People are now living relatively normal life expectancies. That's now what's happening with organ transplants. So they've come a very long way in a very short period of time.
Okay, there's something that to be learned in all of this, that first of all, the recipients of organs can go on to live very happy, healthy, long lives. You're playing hockey, you're walking across Ontario, doing a heck of a lot more than a lot of us, myself included. I think that's quite an inspiration to people, but donating a loved one's organ is a very sensitive issue. And what you're doing is trying to let people know that the sorrow of a lost one is certainly the sorrow of a lost one, and it doesn't diminish that in giving organs to save another person's life. And there are children on the waiting list, or adults, men, women of all ages, and it doesn't really matter your age. I mean, there are a lot of people out there saying, well, I'm too old to donate an organ anyway, but that's not necessarily so. If you're healthy, over 60, you may qualify. So you can certainly give it a shot and put it on your donor card and your license, and let your loved ones know. The message that you have at Step by Step is let your loved ones know.
Yeah, the secret in Canada, because of our legislation and because of the way it's handled here, is to make sure not just that you sign your donor card, but that in fact you advise your family and you make sure your physician is aware that those are your wishes, that you want to donate your organs if something were to happen.
Okay, so we just saw a shot of the van, and that's the van that'll be escorting you across Ontario.
I was hoping to get the other side.
Oh, the other side. This is Chin logo on the other side. That's okay. George, when you're traveling across Ontario, these are numbers people can call for more information, know how to support you, if people want to run along, walk along with you. But certainly when you hear about it on the news, you can join George at any location and help you. You want some company as you're walking across Ontario, George?
Oh, absolutely. I can use all the company. It's going to be a lonely walk.
Okay, it won't be lonely, George. You have lots of company. Okay. Well, I want to thank you, John Totten, and thank you, George. Wish you all the best of luck.
Do I have a quick second?
Sure you do.
Something?
Go ahead. Uh-oh. Where are you going, George? George needed a quick second to leave us. Oh,
on behalf of Step by Step, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, George. That's so sweet of you. Thank you very much. Thanks, George. All the best of luck. God bless. Good luck. And now we go to Giorgio Consolini and Tutte le mamme. Thank you, George. It's beautiful.
E adesso parlando di cose che verranno nel futuro, volevo parlare di questa cosa che è molto importante, Step by Step, questa organizzazione che si prodiga appunto per raccogliere fondi per il trapianto di organi. Questa è una cosa molto 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 bella, bisogna aiutarli veramente. Loro partiranno e cammineranno per 2000 chilometri partendo appunto da Hyde Park, però per tutte le informazioni adesso c'è Donina con proprio la persona che è la persona incaricata di questo grande avvenimento. Buongiorno.
Thank you, Salvatore. I introduced you to George Marcello on our show a few weeks ago, along with John Totten, who's also on the board of directors of Step by Step. Step by Step is having a fundraiser May 27th at Villa Colombo. We'll give you the phone number and let you know how you can participate. Now, George Marcello is a liver transplant recipient. He is going to be, starting June 26th, launching at High Park. You're going to walk 2,000 kilometers across Ontario just to show people like you and I, Sal, and like our viewers, that transplants do work. And George, you're living proof that transplants do work. You're going to walk 2,000 kilometers. It's going to take you 3 months. Auguri.
Thank you, thank you. And you've been a lot of help in this. I have to point that out right at the beginning.
You're doing all the work, George.
Well, I'm doing some of the work. We've gotten a lot of
2,000 kilometers is a lot of work, George.
Yeah, it is. But I've been training at the Columbus Center. They've been letting me use the facilities over there, and hopefully I'll be ready when it starts. On that day, on the launch day, June the 26th, we're going to be holding kind of a route in Toronto, and we have a lot of organizations that are involved, including the owner of the Grenadier Cafe at High Park. We're going to be meeting there at 9 a.m. There's going to be Costy's going to be joining in. They're going to be sending a lot of their volunteers and people there to set up booths in different languages. They're going to be carrying the flags. We'll have probably about 1,000 people walking us with us through Toronto. Yeah, so we'll be stopping. We'll be walking up to St. Clair, stopping off at the Piccinini Center.
George, you'll give us an update closer to the date of your launch
Yes,
with regards to
as
your
we're
route
going
and
along.
the activities in High Park on June 26th. But more immediate is May 27th. You're having a gala dinner at Villa Colombo, and
right.
tickets are $100. You'd like to thank, I know that your organization would like to thank everybody for their contributions thus far, but you do need ticket sales because you need to pay for your 2,000-kilometer walk to show people that there is a critical shortage of organ and tissue donation in Canada, and that certainly transplants do work, and you're a living proof of it. And I certainly think that you're doing a tremendous job, and I congratulate you and all the people you work with. And I know you want to call your colleagues over for a quick wave to the audience so that everyone can see the different people who are involved. Call the numbers that you saw on the screen, Villa Colombo, for more information. And if you missed it, the number is 964-4940. Thanks, Ali. And these are all the great people. Stand up, stand up. These are all the great supporters, the team that George has assembled for his 2,000-kilometer walk across Ontario. Congratulations. And remember, there is a critical shortage of organ and tissue donation in Canada. If you can help, think about it, talk to your families about it. And George, we'll see you in a few weeks to know a little more about your June 26th launch.
I'll keep bothering you.
Thank you, George. I know he's a very dependable man. I know he'll be
Bravo,
back.
Giorgio, una grande forza soprattutto. Adesso Giorgio andiamo avanti con la canzone, poi magari nel corso di questo, prima di arrivare appunto a questo, tu ci sarai sempre informati insieme al tuo staff di quello che farete, ok? Adesso andiamo subito con Lucio Dalla e il titolo Canzone.
We have a special guest with us. He's no stranger to the show. If you've watched our show, then you know George Marcello. He is one Italo-Canadian man who is grateful for the liver that he received as a liver transplant recipient 2 years ago. And
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
And to show his gratitude, he is organizing a 2,000-kilometer walk across Ontario, and he starts his walk on Saturday. George, I know that you started all of this, but there's so many different organizations and individuals involved, and I know you want to say thank you and hello to several of them.
Yeah, thank you for letting me have this opportunity to do that. First of all, we couldn't get this done alone, of course. I want to thank Montana Steel, an advertising marketing firm that's been helping us right from the beginning. Columbus Center for them to use their facilities to work out, train, and hold our gala dinner. I want to thank the Salvation Army, who's been continuously behind us in every way and will be in the future. I want to thank the YMCAs. They're at present coordinating over 50 events around Ontario and will be a big part of this. And last but not least, I want to thank Chin, who Danina just